All right, the cowardly, corrupt, compromised, congenital liar Schiff, Pelosi, they sure seem to be getting their hopes up with their impeachment madness in the House. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he already knows how this will end in the Senate. Take a look.
How long it goes on really just depends on how long the Senate wants to spend on it. I will say I'm pretty sure how it's likely to end. If it were today, I don't think there's any question it would not lead to a removal.
With reaction, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman, Senator Lindsey Graham, the great state of South Carolina. Senator, if you don't have any due process, you were involved in the '98 impeachment. Every consideration that Nixon got from the Democrats in his era, that you and Newt Gingrich gave Clinton and his lawyers in '98, has been denied Donald Trump. Why is it in the Senate, if there's no due process, it should be dead on arrival, shouldn't it?
Well, that's what our resolution told the House. We had 50 Republican senators tell the House by resolution that the process in the House currently being engaged in is out of line with due process expected of an impeachment. So the process is unfair, and the president did nothing wrong. Other than that, they've got a good case.
Other than that. We have, now the president said he wanted to get to the bottom of 2016 election interference. The Ukrainian court determined it. Politico wrote about it. I thought Democrats cared about it, but they only care if it's Trump. And Russia, not the Hillary dossier. You know, and then we have this whole issue as it relates to Ukraine. We got a Joe Biden problem. I'm listening to Joe Biden on tape bragging about a quid pro quo. You fire the prosecutor that the New York Times told him was investigating his son, you get $1 billion. If you don't fire the prosecutor in 6 hours, you don't get the $1 billion. Now, that to me, if the president asks a question about it, wouldn't he be faithfully executing the laws of the land? Because that looks like an illegal act, and I outlined the laws in my opening monologue.
Yeah, well, I think the John Solomon reporting has changed everything for me. Now you have messages and emails beginning in 2015, going into early 2016, suggesting that the prosecutor was being zeroed in on by Biden, that there was concern that the prosecutor was getting too close to Hunter Biden, that people from Baramusa, whatever the name of the company, actually were engaging the State Department. So that whole storyline needs to be looked at. And John Solomon's reporting has changed everything for me. I'm hoping that Jim Risch, the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, will do some oversight of the State Department to find out what really did happen regarding firing the prosecutor.
Well, let me ask you this. So we know that Biden knew his son was being investigated. We know his son said they did talk about business. And we have on tape bragging. You fire him, you get $1 billion. You don't fire him, you don't get $1 billion. Doesn't that seem like something that could be a crime? I outlined bribery and Foreign Services Act and a bunch of other laws just earlier. Doesn't the president have a duty to get to the truth if a vice president was leveraging $1 billion of our money to literally get a guy fired from investigating his son? Doesn't that sound like something that deserves an investigation to you? Because it does to me.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I supported Mueller doing his job because I thought he would be fair. I don't believe that Adam Schiff is going to be fair to the president. I don't believe that Adam Schiff is looking for the truth. This is the first time in the history of the country that impeachment is being led by a partisan politician, not some outside entity like a special counsel. The process stinks. In the substance, the president did nothing wrong. And when it comes to Adam Schiff, it's never enough regarding Trump. As to Joe Biden, he was told in December by the New York Times that the company that his son was sitting on was being investigated. In February, they raid the office of the guy who owns the company. Then all of a sudden, you get people from the Biden world getting involved with the State Department. That needs to be looked at. Horowitz is going to tell us about the counterintelligence investigation. He's going to tell us about the FISA warrant application. Somebody needs to look at the Biden.
Let me ask you this. Well, I think Adam Schiff obviously is compromised. I think the whistleblower, we need to know what went on between the whistleblower and Biden and the whistleblower in Schiff's office. We also need Don't we need to bring in Joe Biden and put him under oath? Don't we need to put Hunter Biden under oath at this point, knowing what we know?
I think the first thing we need is to start asking questions of the State Department about the role they played. Hunter Biden's partner, actually met with John Kerry right after the raid. What was that all about? Why were there 3 phone calls made in pretty quick succession after the raid? Those are the things that may lead to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden being asked questions about how the prosecutor was fired. I don't know why the prosecutor was fired, but what John Solomon found has changed my view of whether or not we should look. We should definitely look. The House is not going to look, so it's up to the Senate to look.
All right, Senator, thank you.